What's up, guys? NFL Week 8 pregame show back with exciting Week 7, 8-6 in props last week. Back again with the Week 8 pregame show here. My boy Shane, what's going on, buddy?
It's going great. Broncos and Jaguars. What great television is on right
All
now?
right. If you got ESPN Plus, delete that. Don't watch that game. That's just dreadful. Whoever wants to pay that price to watch that game, puke, yuck. All right, let's get into some real football. Now, what's going on over the water? Patriots Jets, ugly game I think today. Jets and Giants, two of the most public dogs all year. Same thing today. Pros versus Joe's game today. Patriots opened at -1, jumped up to -2.5, into -3 now this morning. They are getting most of the money on Sharpwise, but public's still hammering them. The Jets, plus 120, getting 61% of the money, 74% of the bets. But a good sharp differential sitting at 31% with the Patriots. What do you see in today's game, man?
This game's so weird because the Patriots have this whole quarterback controversy, which is like the worst thing you could have in football. And then the Jets lose their best offensive player and one of their key young offensive linemen now. So I don't know if their season's kind of derailed or not. I prefer the Patriots just because Bill Belichick's owned the Jets and he just got smacked by the Bears. So I think he wants to make up for that. So I would go Patriots in this one.
Yeah, I like the Patriots as well. No homer here. I just think big bounce back week for them. Only thing that concerns me with this team is injuries wise. David Andrews out, Kyle Duggar out, two of the leaders of this team. Jets are on a high right now. They're at home getting 3 points. They probably feel a little disrespected today. But I'll ride with the pros here. I'll take the Pats on the -3. Going into the prop real quick. Sorry. We're gonna stick with the plus money here. Zach Wilson under half a touchdown pass today. He hasn't done this in I think 3 weeks in a row now. They're still putting out at plus 175. Last week plus 165. We hit that as well. I think this is gonna be a ground game for both teams today. I think it's gonna be a boring game. Patriots have allowed 2 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. Browns touchdown was in garbage time, I believe, and Bears last week was just a meltdown in all aspects of football. So I'm the route the Patriots D today. Kyle Duggar does affect that a little bit. That's why it's probably jumped up closer to plus 200. But I'm gonna take a stab at this one. That's Zach Wilson under a half a touchdown pass to start week 8 off. Next one, Steelers take on the Eagles today in Philly. Line, I believe, opened at 10, still around 10.5 on most books. Money-wise, there have been a couple of big numbers bet on the Steelers today to cover the 10.5 line. So I think in some aspects, the books kind of need Philly to be Philly and, blow this team out. Philly, in the realm of money-wise, still getting 64% of the money, 55% of the bets on the spread. Of course, parlay liability as well with the Eagles today at -475. Anyway, Steelers upset today, Shane?
I mean, they've been pretty good covering this year. They were like 8-point dogs against against the Bucks. They won that game. They covered against the Dolphins last week, but this is Philadelphia, who's owned the Steelers the past few times they've played. Eagles coming off a bye. They're the hottest team in the league right now. I would lean Eagles here. I don't trust Kenny Pickett right now.
I don't trust Kenny Pickett. I don't really trust Najee right now. I think he's a little banged up. Eagles getting Robert Quinn off a bye, so he has time to get into that defense a little bit. Defense is playing great, which leads into our prop of the day with this one. Kenny Pickett under 218.5 passing yards. The Eagles versus the Pats have just been, defense all around has been one of the best in the league. Against the pass, they're allowing 208.67 yards through the air, only allowing 250 plus in one of those, which was the Kyler Murray game 2 weeks ago. They held Dak to 181 yards. They held Trevor Lawrence to 175. Carson Wentz 211, Kirk Cousins 220, Jared Goff when he was leading the league in yards at 215. So I think this defense lock, can he pick it up? I think it's an ugly game today for the Steelers. I think this could be a pretty good blowout by Philly with fresh legs off a bye. So both on the same page here. I take Philly minus 10, and then I like this prop a lot under 220 for Kenny. Next one, rolling right along here into week 8. Bears take on the Dallas Cowboys today. I believe same thing with the Eagles game. I think this line opened at 10. It's at 10, 10 and a half right now. Bears coming off, probably their best game of the year last week versus my Patriots. Still not getting too much respect in the books. I think the sharps are hitting them hard right now. I mean, Dallas Cowboys line just dropped to 9.5 as we speak. Dallas getting 62% of the money, 37% of the bets. Parlay liability, of course, with Dallas. I like the Bears here getting the 10. I'm going to sprinkle the money line a little bit with this one too. Not a true believer in Dak as of right now. His 2 games a year have not been great showings by him. I'll take the points here in this one.
I think overall this is going to be a pretty lower scoring game. The Bears defense has actually been pretty decent this year. And then the Cowboys defense, we know what that is. The spread wise, this game's tripping me out because yes, the Bears have looked better on offense, but they just came off their best game of the year, and this could be a letdown spot for them, like a fall back down to earth after they outplayed Bill Belichick. Zeke's out for the Cowboys, which could be big. Everybody seems to think that Tony Pollard should be the guy, and watch him today look like a mid running back because he plays well because he's a change of pace guy because of Zeke. I might give the lean to the Cowboys because I think their defense scores.
Okay. I looked at this line earlier this morning, and I was surprised to see the public not jump in the Bears as much as they, as much as I thought. I mean, great performance last week on Thursday Night Football. Monday Night Football. It is a shortened week for them, but I think one day isn't too much of a big deal. They are traveling again, which sucks for them. But if the public was more on the Bears, I'd be more worried about it. But I haven't seen enough to tell me that the public is on this team, and they're still not getting the respect that they not deserve, but I think warrant after that performance last week. So I'm the roll with the points here. And I like a little bit of the upset factor here as well. Getting into the props, Cole Kmet over 2.5 catches today. Great value, I think, with that. Sitting at plus 105 odds, excuse me. So you're getting plus money against a Cowboys team who's averaging 9 targets a game to tight end so far this year. 7 to Goddard last week, 10 to Mark Andrews. 12 to Logan Thomas against the Commanders. I mean, they're allowing targets to happen against tight ends, and I think Fields looks for his guy today, especially if they're down. Look for safety blanket or something like that. So he gets over 2.5 at plus money. One of Shane's props today, Khalil Herbert over 38.5 rushing yards at minus 120.
So the Bears' backfield is now very confusing because I think Khalil Herbert's the better of the two, and I think now that the Bears are starting to realize that, and David Montgomery's on a contract year, I think they are going to look to implement him more and more into the offense. He's covered this number in every game but one. So, and on a run-heavy team, I think this is a big smash opportunity, and I think he might see more touches today than David Montgomery. I think they're looking to just phase him out completely because he's not in the long-term plans.
Yeah, same with contract-wise, same thing with Damian Harris. I think people are not realizing that if Bill wants to keep this dude, after this year, he's not going to give him the stats to get him in the open market to let him get paid. So that's why I still think you're going to see going back to the Pats for a minute, Stevenson is still going to get a ton of workload today. I think the same with Herbert. It's the same situation. That this team's not going to want Montgomery to get market value, and the only way he gets market value is if he puts up the stats that he warranted last year or here before that, and I think they're going to try to sit him as much as possible. So Herbert is probably going to split snaps, maybe with running back stay, but I think he gets the bulk of it. And he's been able to get, 12, 13 yards in one carry. He's been on the long runs before. So 38.5 is, a pretty low number for him today, I think, too. Next one, we'll jump into the Dolphins at Lions. Kind of a weird line today, I think. In my opinion, Lions only getting 3.5. Lions have fallen back on the earth pretty hard the past couple weeks, ever since that Pats shutout loss against Bailey Zappi. Lions, I believe, are one of the biggest needs for the books today. Dolphins at 3.5, getting 70% of the money, 80% of the bets. They're also getting 80% of the money on the money line, 82% of the bets. So the parlay liabilities there as well. It's a public versus books aspect here. Books are going to need Lions to cover and possibly win to break up some early parlays. And I'll route the books here. I'll take the home dog with the 3.5 points.
I mean, the Lions are getting a lot of people back. DeAndre Swift is going to be back this week. Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be playing this week, even though he'll probably end up getting hurt again because that's what he's been doing this year. Their defense is still the worst in the league. Tua, in his first game back, he looked good for like the first drive, and then that game kind of just went to shit against the Steelers. I think the Lions cover, but the Dolphins still win. I think it's gonna be a field goal game, and it's gonna surprise people. But I think Tua, I still don't know if he's fully there yet.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a pretty boring game, even though Lions defense is shaky at best. I'm still not a Tua guy. I've never been a Tua guy. I think the run game's still shaky. The O line's still not that great. I could see a couple breakout scorers by this Lions offense today with St. Brown and Swift. Both being back on the field today. So I wouldn't be surprised if Lions went outright, like I said. So I put a sprinkle up there. My prop today is a little surprising. I'm gonna go under 257.5 for Goff. The only reason why this is because I think it's a Swift game. Out of the backfield, not catching wise. I think he's gonna run for a ton of yards today. Quarterbacks versus the Dolphins only allowing 265 in the air on average. Last week was just a weird week with Kenny Pickett. He threw the ball 40 freaking times. He had 257 yards in the air. Other than that, though, they held Kirk to 175. They held Zach Wilson to 210. Joe to under 300, which is a great showing by them. And they held Mac Jones to 213, which is not saying much, but 260 is kind of a lot for him today. I see him getting the 230, 240 range possibly. A couple touchdown passes. But yeah, that's my pick for that one. Any other props you like possibly in this game or no?
Probably sprinkling Swift touchdown. I would say it's first game back. They try to get him the ball off, and he's their main playmaker.
Yeah, I like that a lot. He's also in my money league fantasy, so I'll take that. That's a dub. Next one, Arizona Cardinals. That line has jumped to 4 now. 4-point line. Cardinals getting 4 on the road in Minnesota. Cardinals getting probably some of the most money on the board today, sitting at 83% of the money. That's why it jumped up to 4 here, which means it's probably a little bit of respected money coming in on the Cardinals. 60% of the bets. The over is also getting pounded today. Over 49 getting 84% of the money, 64% of the bets. But the surprising thing in this one is the money line's getting even value. Not really a pros versus Joe's situation today. I think both sides are getting quality money on this one. I think this is gonna be a good game. I lean Arizona just off the fact that Kyler has a dog in his career, especially on the roads, 10-3 ATS. I always look to fade him as a favorite, take him as a dog, especially with Kingsbury too. He's been pretty good as a road dog in his career as well. So I'm gonna ride the Cardinals here, but I don't love it.
I think this is a shootout game. Vikings coming off a bye. They're another hot team in the league. Cardinals, they get DeAndre Hopkins back. They're looking to figure themselves out and try to make a hunt for the wild card or even the division. That division's now wide open. Kyler Murray, this Call of Duty weekend. Call of Duty just dropped. We don't know where his head's going to be at. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of a meme, but I mean, we really don't know because he does have a gaming contract. I don't know. And then historically, the Cardinals in Minnesota have, I think, lost the past 10. So I'm gonna take the team that has proven more this season. I'm gonna take I think this is like a 34-27 game. I think the Vikings just have a little bit more juice on offense, which pushes them ahead.
No, like I said, I didn't love the Cardinals pick. I still don't love it. It's just trends and angles for me. I love the aspect of Kyler being a dog today, getting 4 now. You could even tease it up to 11. I like that too. Shane and I both love this prop today. We both text each other our props every morning. We both agree on this one. Kyler Murray over 1.5 touchdown passes at plus money. Like I said, shootout potential. Both quarterbacks love to chuck the ball down the field. D Hop's back. Zach Ertz is still there. Robbie Anderson is in the lineup now as another deep threat. I could see three today by Kyler. 3 in a pick, 280 plus yards. I can see a good game by him today as well. So we both agree on that one. Moving on. Raiders take on the Saints in New Orleans today. That line's basically been a pick 'em all week. It jumped up to 3 yesterday. Now it's back down to 1. Late money coming in on Saints. Raiders getting 70% of the money, 73% of the bets at -1 now. Over is getting pounded as well at 50. For 49.5. 74% of the money, 60% of the bets at over 49.5. And then the Raiders also getting pounded on the money line. So books are going to need the Saints here. I think Shane and I both agree on this one. I'll take the Saints at +2.
Yeah, I'm not a believer in the Raiders. I'm sorry. You beat the Texans and then you beat the Broncos. Cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't do anything for me. I think this is another sneaky shootout game because both defenses have stunk surprisingly from the Saints side. We think the Saints are a good defensive team. That something's not working there. I don't know if it's just because of injuries. It doesn't seem like Tyrann Mathieu's a good fit there, which is weird because you think he's like a guy you can move all over the place. Derek Carr and Andy Dalton both aren't afraid to throw the ball down the field. As we saw Thursday night, Andy Dalton threw back-to-back pick sixes, but then threw for like 4 touchdowns and over 300 yards.
Yep.
I'll just take the home team here.
I like it too. Which leads into our prop, shootout. I mean, that Raiders defense, especially in the secondary, has been, dreadful. The quarterbacks versus the Raiders past couple weeks, have scored 8 touchdowns last 3 weeks, 9 the last 4, 13 over the last 7. I know it was against, Pat put up 4 against them, but they let 2 to Russ, let 2 to Davis Mills. I mean, Dalton's going to have to sling it today, I think, if they want to keep in this game. At home crowd's behind him. He put up 4 last week. I think he gets half that. You're getting that another plus money, plus 105 today. It's a good value bet. Take the over 1.5, and you don't have to watch the game. It's probably gonna be an ugly game, in my opinion. A lot of turnovers on both sides, but I think Dalton gets 2+ today. Next game might be the grossest game on the slate today. Panthers in Atlanta. Not much to talk about here. Both bottom feeders. I'm not a huge Falcons guy. I know Shane, a little bit of a sleeper team so far this year. I think they're kind of frauds. I think they'll show it out. Not this week, I think, but down the line, I think they'll show their liability. Falcons getting pounded today as well. 76% of the money, 60% of the bets on Falcons at -4. A little bit of money in the over 2 at 41, just because I think both defenses are just shit. And of course, the Falcons at -205, and probably a good amount of parlays today as well.
Just give me the home team in this matchup. That's all I really gotta say. This game could get ugly, and there could be like a decent amount of scoring. I don't personally see it, but I think both sides are going to turn the ball over. The Panthers defense is actually like pretty decent. But they're in this whole, we're going to completely tank and rebuild, but we're going to still try to win games as we beat the Buccaneers 21-3. They're confusing me, so I would stay away from them at all costs.
Yeah, the line's weird. 4. I can't. I don't think I lay 4 with Falcons today. Basically leading the win by a touchdown. It's just, I don't know. Both teams are in weird situations. Falcons are playing better than what they thought. Carolina coming off a Buccaneers win last week. Like, I don't know how you cap this game, but 2 props I like in this one. I'm gonna give 2 out today. London under 3.5, going back to the well on this one. He's just not getting targets by Mariota.
Nobody is.
No, he's not throwing the ball. So I'm gonna lean on that one again till it breaks me. I don't see him having a breakout game today against this Carolina secondary. I don't know if you disagree with that, but I think he's kind of mellow. Maybe 2 catches. He's only getting like 3 targets the last 4 weeks. So, and not total, but averaging three targets last 4. I think this is a run game. Mariota on the ground and the tandem of running backs too for both teams. So next one, just because the yards are so low and the Falcons secondary is so effing bad, I'm gonna take PJ over 184.5. Not saying he's having a great game, but I think he can get 200 plus if it's a shootout, late in the game. Well, they're allowing 320 in the air. The Falcons are 320. They put up let 500 last week to Joe, and he just demolished that team. 300 to Jimmy G, which is saying a lot in my opinion. 350 to Tom Brady, which is saying a lot at this point in the season. 350 to Tom Brady, who looks half himself. They give up 230 to Jacoby Brissett, 325 to Geno, who's having a great year, 270 to Matt Stafford, who looks like a shell of himself as well right now. So I think PJ Walker, not a great game, but I think 190, 200 is not that hard to get in this one.
I remember I heard a stat. I don't know if it's 100% true, but he might be, or PJ Walker might be 4-1 as a starter.
I always liked him, just his play style, but I can look that up. I haven't
no, he's not. Nope. Nope. Just don't look
right.
at it. It's not true. Whoever said that was a liar.
All right, moving on. Titans take on the Texans. Malik Willis game, Shane?
This is a trap game. Oh my god. This is if you want the definition of a trap game, it's this.
Yeah. Big time. I believe the line's up to 2.5 now because they're getting so much money on the Titans. Oh, nope. It's still at 1, I think. Still at 1 on DraftKings. Tennessee just getting destroyed on the books right now, and they're loving it. I think Tennessee at -1, 80% of the money, 90% of the bets. Probably the biggest need for Vegas this week is Houston just straight up winning. Titans on the money line getting 91% of the dough, 83% of the tickets at -135. They're begging you to take Titans today, and I can't do it with Malik Willis. He has looked terrible in his short stints in the league so far this year. He looks out of control when he gets the ball. He looks like he gets the ball and wants to run right away. I don't see him having a great showing today. I think he's going to struggle a lot, and they're going to lean on Henry, which is going to lean into my next prop. But I don't know, Shane, if you got anything on this one, but I'm rolling with Texans at home.
Oh, dude, it's such a trap game, but I think Derrick Henry alone can take this team to beat the Texans. So it's if the line was at 3, I'm taking the Texans, no doubt. But it's basically a pick 'em.
Yeah, which is weird though.
I know. I mean, Tannehill's out. That plays a factor.
Still, the Titans are better than the Texans.
And the Texans are at home. Texans have been a team I've been high on with covering because I don't think they're as bad as their record shows.
Yeah.
Titans are hot.
Just a weird situation. And Shane, what do we do when the weird lines happen?
You take the fucking weird team.
That is Texans.
Hurts.
Texans at +1. Money line at -105. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I like it a lot. I'm not a huge. I was a huge Malik guy, but watching him, when Daniel came in hurt a couple weeks ago, and then last week when he fumbled the ball on a jet sweep with a quarterback, what the
Well,
fuck
that's
was
just play calling. That's not his fault.
that?
They
Was
ran
awful.
a wide receiver
Jet sweep with a
jet
quarterback.
sweep with a quarterback. So
But props today. I think this is just not a definite, but how can you not take him at 2 catches right now? He's getting a lot of targets. I think he's gotten 4+ last 3 weeks. I think targets wise, he's caught 3, 2, and 3. I think his last 3 weeks too. I think this is going to be a safety blanket for Malik today out of the backfield. So I'll take Henry over 1.5. A little juicy at -130, but I still like it here. The next one's also the other surprising, and Shane called us at the beginning of the year. I'm going to give Shane the props on this one. This dude's having a hell of a year. Probably the rookie of the year so far, Shane.
now that Brees Hall's out, yeah.
Yeah. Over 2.5 catches at +1.
Hey, Kenneth Walker has been doing
He's
stuff.
having a year too.
Right now, it's probably Pierce, but I think Walker might be able to overtake him.
Dameon Pierce having a year. He's 6th in yards, 8th in attempts. Out of the backfield, though, he's getting 6, 5, and 4 targets last 3 weeks. 13 catches over the last 3 weeks. I think he has a decent game overall today too. The Titans defense is what it is. It's not that great. So I'll take his catches today at
It's
3.
playing better than expected, though, which is weird.
But I also think they haven't been playing against great
Top tier opponents. Yes.
Yeah, they've played against one good quarterback this year, and that was who am I blanking on? Sorry,
Derek Carr, of course. No.
Josh Allen. I'm sorry. That's really it. They've allowed 294 through the air. Multiple touchdowns through every week. But last week when Matt Ryan was playing, he was not saying much. But I think out of the backfield could be a good option for Mr. Mills today. So, Giants at the Seahawks. Shane, is this the game where the Giants explode?
All right, this is my take on this game. Every game up to this point, I've said the Giants are going to lose, and they've won. I think the Giants win this game, which is going to mean that the Seahawks are going to win. Fade me on the Giants.
Well, the Giants have, of course, been one of the biggest public dogs all year. They're coming in week 8, same aspect, same situation as last week, 3 points on the road. They're getting 70% of the money in the bets on the money line at +135 right now. Probably the biggest public dog all year. It's going to continue this week, probably next week. Fuck it, Giants win. How can you go against this team right now? They're just a team of destiny. Dable's got them playing like just one hell of a football team. They never quit. I mean, Saquon's having a great year, which leads into my prop in a couple seconds here. I'll take the 3.5 points now.
I think this is points. I think points get scored both sides here. Seahawks defense sucks. Giants can't defend the run to save their life right now. Yeah. Playing in Seattle might be the most difficult place to play in the NFL because they have the 12th man and the fans. It's like between them and like Kansas City for like who has the biggest home field advantage. I think the Bills are going to start making a run for that now because of all the dildos getting thrown all over the place.
Yeah.
I just don't know if Geno Smith is just the big question mark here. Yeah, Metcalf and Lockett are playing, but they're both a little banged up. Kenneth Walker is going to have to try to be a wagon, I think, for this team if they want to have a shot at this division. Nobody thought in their right mind at the beginning of the year that the Seahawks would be in this position.
Yeah.
But I'm going to just take the team that's hot right now. Or more hot, I should say, because the Seahawks are well overperforming. The Giants have already surpassed their win total from last year, which is like, what? And then the next week they're on a bye. So if they win this week and then go into the bye, it might be. I don't know if I like it as a Giants fan because I don't know if Daniel Jones truly is the guy. He's been limiting turnovers, which has been the one big knock on him, is turning the ball over. But I'll just take the Giants here if they're hot.
Yeah, I think it's really Giants or nothing. I can't back Geno in this situation. Laying 3 with Geno, I don't know, but great game to watch. I think this afternoon we'll be watching
It
that one.
feels like the game last week. The Jaguars were also plus like 3 or -3 at home.
Different though. This home field is definitely an advantage.
This home field is definitely different.
The 3 points are valued here, but I'll just roll the Giants, man. I'll take your team. Saquon Barkley over 20 and a half attempts today at -105. I think it's going to be a run heavy game for this team. Either Daniel Jones or Barkley. Seahawks, like you said, one of the worst defenses. One of the worst defenses on the ground. I think they're like 30th in the league in average yards per attempt. They're averaging, let's see, Seahawks on the ground. They're averaging 104.14 yards per game, 4.5 yards per attempt. I mean, they're averaging 23 rush attempts against them on the ground. Sure, Saquon over 20.5, basically a pick him at -105. I think he gets 22, 23 carries today.
Giants also are severely lacking in the weapon department. I think it's just like Wan'Dale Robinson's like our main guy, so they might try to rely on Saquon a lot more this game.
Heard that. Next one is Shane's prop today. Kenneth Walker over 82.5 rushing yards.
Giants can't defend the run, so just give. And Kenneth Walker's been electric with the ball since he's become the starter after Penny went out. So and Penny is another guy. I think he's off the Seahawks after this year, but Kenneth Walker has been able to smash this number since becoming the starter. He is a guy that can just break away a run at any given minute. So I like this number, only 82.5.
Awesome. Next one today, Niners Rams rematch today, sitting at 1. Kind of weird. I think it's sitting at 1. I know it's in LA. Not really a home crowd for them. We talked about home crowds with Seattle, but Niners getting absolutely pounded right now in the books. 91% of the money, 75% of the bets. One of the biggest needs today is the Rams. Did the Rams get it done today, Shane?
No.
Oh.
They are like there's teams that like own other teams, like the Patriots own the Jets, and the Titans own the Texans. I'm pretty sure the Niners own the Rams right now. I think they've won they've won 7 out of the last 8 or something. The one loss was in overtime in the playoffs. Matthew Stafford is not playing like Matthew Stafford. They do get Van Jefferson back, I believe, this week, but I don't know how involved he's going to be in his first game back. This home field here does not exist. So, what are you doing?
Sorry.
You're giving me a seizure. Niners defense is. I mean, they're still the Niners defense. They're going to be without Armstead, I believe, today. I think Nick Bosa's back. I'm not 100%. But if Nick Bosa's back, Matthew Stafford might die in the backfield because this Rams offensive line is abysmal. I'm just gonna take the team that's dominated the matchup.
I don't know, dude. It's getting into must-win territory for this Rams team. At home against
Must
a
win
team
for either team. Both teams are 3-4, aren't they?
I know, but just aspect of in this matchup, I think the Rams have to win this one. They're 2-2 at home. Niners are 1-3 on the road so far this year. I'll take the Rams in an ugly game, I think. I mean, the only real value there is probably the Rams, in my opinion, because you get Niners at -1 when they just beat this team a couple weeks ago. I don't know. I'm gonna take Jimmy over 230 and at 8.5. He's done it in 3, 4, 5, 6 of his 7 games versus the Rams. He plays against McVay's defense pretty well. This defense is not really playing up to par so far this year, in my opinion, to the weapons they have on defense. The only thing that worries me is that Niners line. It got killed last week versus the Rams. Mike, what's his last name?
McGlinchey.
Oh, awful performance. I know he's off injury, but man, that was bad. Very disappointing by him. I think he has a bounce back game, but that line's got to stay tough. And this is coming into our next prop. I think McCaffrey gets in there today. Second game with them, full week of practice. Debo's a little banged up. I know he's going to play today, but I could see him getting one in today at plus 120. Good value, I think so.
I'm pretty sure
Those,
Debo's out.
oh, he's out. I thought you said he's in.
No, I said he was out.
Oh, he's out. Shit.
He's not playing, so that's just more McCaffrey.
Or McCaffrey right there for you. It's probably jumped. It's probably at minus something now. It's probably at minus 120. So we got it at plus 120. I think that's great value for this dude. I think he has a good game for them today in LA. Next one, battle of the quarterbacks. Taylor Heineke versus Mr. Ellinger today, former Longhorn. I like this kid coming out of Texas, and I think he's going to have a good game today against this Commanders defense. I like the Colts here at home and bounce back. That's all I'm going to say.
If there's no tape on him, pick him. There's no tape on Ellinger in the NFL. Give me the Colts all day. The Commanders are coming off a big win against the Packers. And they're now on the road going against the Colts. Frank Reich is kind of coaching for his life right now. They moved on from Matt Stafford, who looked like he couldn't throw the ball 20 yards down the field half the time. Yeah, that's how trash he is. I'm not even going to call him by his name. I think they look to find a way to get Taylor involved more. He was the best running back in football last year statistically, and he's been like a shell of that, partially because of the offensive line. But I think a guy with his talent should still be able to produce to a certain extent. Ellinger, I don't think is going to be afraid to throw the ball down the field, which is going to be big for this Colts team. They haven't been able to really get the deep ball going that much this year. Ellinger will sling it. Yeah, I really like the Colts this week.
Awesome. So I'm on the same. We're both on the same page on that one. Again, yeah, I like Ellinger coming out of Texas. I like him now. I think might be the quarterback of the future for that team, or possibly Mac Jones. But we'll get into that later on.
Hey, he's starting this week. Don't hate on him.
Let's see. Under 209 passing yards in this one. The Colts have just been a stellar defense against the pass. That's really not much else to say about it. They've allowed less than 200 in 3 of the last 4 weeks. They are allowing 206 in the air. That's skewed a little bit to playing Pat Mahomes, they only get 262 in the air. So I think this is a good spot for Heineke to struggle a little bit. So I think it leads into the Colts situation too. I think the Colts win pretty easily today. I think Heineke struggles. So they got tape on him from last year. They got tape on him before. Shaq Leonard's back this week too. So I like Heineke have struggle a little bit. Maybe you see a Sam Howell situation here. Ugh, gross. Packers.
I'm gonna do it.
I mean, come on.
I'm gonna do it.
Oh, he's gonna pull it. Pull it.
Packers are going to win this football game.
Ooh, I like it, Shane. Packers. Let's see.
You're giving me Aaron Rodgers plus 10 in prime time. In prime time. Did we forget who Aaron Rodgers is in prime time? Have we forgotten? He is a dog. Give me Green Bay. I think this is a letdown spot for the Buffalo Bills. I don't know why I don't think the line should be this bad.
It's 11 now. It's getting up there.
Give me Green Bay.
I mean, it's either a Green Bay win or a Bills blowout, in my opinion. Honestly, if you're gonna bet on the Packers, take the spread and take the money line. If you're gonna bet on the Bills, take the money line and take the spread because it's just either the spread's not gonna matter, in my opinion. Which leads into our next prop: Rodgers over 1.5 touchdowns. When's the last time you saw him at plus 120 to get 2? Yeah, I mean it's value right there. He's done it every week but one. I think he's got to throw. He's going to wait these wide receivers the fuck up. Aaron Jones out of the backfield. That could be 2 right there, in my opinion, throwing to him.
Did that last week.
I think he's got a good game in store for Green Bay and Rodgers. I'll definitely be watching that one on prime time. So, all right, Monday Night Football, good matchup here in my opinion. Bengals taking on Cleveland in Cleveland. 3-point line. I know the Bengals on the road here, but 3-point line up to 3.5. Bengals getting crushed. The book's going to need Cleveland straight up and spread. Cincinnati getting 80% of the money, 84% of the bets. 80% of the money, 85% of the bets the money line. Under is going to be in play. Divisional under. I like this game a lot. I like Browns in the under. I like this game a lot.
It's just hard for me to pick the Browns. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
Do it. You
If
can do it.
Hendrickson was out for the Bengals, I would have probably leaned Browns, but he's playing.
You can do it.
I can't. Joe Burrow has looked on another level the past few weeks throwing the ball. Denzel Ward's not playing for the Browns. They're out their number one corner. They already can't defend the run or the pass.
Yep.
So
Browns.
I can't do it. Can't do it.
Well, we're gonna lead some props here. Get the show wrapping up pretty soon. Joe Mixon anytime touchdown at -115. Dude, I talked to you this before the show. This freaking defense has been pretty shitty
Browns
against them.
defense stinks. Yes.
Sheesh. They've allowed against running backs, I believe it's 8 the past 3 weeks. Sorry. 8 the last 4 weeks, 10 last 7, averaging 1.5 giving up a game. Joe Mixon is getting it for 2. Boom. He's going to get in for 2. Plus
I won't mind that. Got
470
him in fantasy.
on draft.
Wonder who I got him from.
Plus 4. Yeah, I don't know who you got from some fucking idiot. Some plus 470 on DraftKings. You can get him at 2+ touchdowns at plus 470. So I like him to get number 2. So good value there for him. Getting a lot of touches, a lot of catches. Great value. All right, Shane, you're up, buddy. Shane's fantasy report starting sits.
All right, this week there's not a lot of bye weeks, which is a good thing. It's only the Chargers and the Chiefs, but people start a lot of people from the Chargers and the Chiefs. So if you need a filler quarterback, I like Daniel Jones. He's not turning the ball over. He's playing against Seattle, who has a piss poor defense. And he gives you that rushing upside, which is huge in fantasy for quarterbacks. I could see him scoring 18, 20 points this week easily, and that'll be more than well enough for a gap week with you sitting Mahomes or Herbert or whoever. Deontay Foreman at running back, Chuba Hubbard out, which I think is just going to be more opportunities for Deontay Foreman. They have some rookie, like Blackshear, I think is his last name. I think he's going to get like some third down work, but I think they're going to try to lean on Foreman, who looked good when filling in last year for Derrick Henry for the Titans. He looked solid last week. He broke off a 60-yarder. So if you, again, needed a running back there, I think he is a good filler. Brandon Ayuk at wide receiver. No Debo. He's the number one receiver now. He played well last week. I don't see a reason why he can't perform well this week. The Rams defense isn't what it looked to be in years prior. Hayden Hurst, no Jamar Chase. Again, more targets for him. It seems like when a wide receiver is out for the Bengals, Hayden Hurst immediately fills in and can perform. He's already been performing well to begin with, but now no Jamar Chase for the next few weeks gives him a bigger window now to exceed expectations and start the Dolphins defense. The Lions have looked like a shell of themselves the past few weeks. They looked like one of the best offensive teams in the league, and now they look like one of the worst. I'm not going to trust Jared Goff this week, so I will take the Dolphins defense. For sits, I have Justin Fields as a sit. He had probably one of the, if not best games of his career last week. But I think this is a letdown spot for the Bears, and he's going against the Cowboys defense, who loves to sack the quarterback, loves to turn the ball over. So I would rather sit this one out with him. James Robinson I have as a sit. He just got traded to the Jets. I don't know how fully acclimated he is with the playbook and the scheme, So I think he gets sprinkled in, but this week I see more of a Michael Carter week. I don't know if James Robinson gets too involved. Drake London is a sit. The Falcons just don't throw the ball. I'll throw in a bonus one here. Kyle Pitts. It feels weird to say Kyle Pitts, but they just don't throw the ball, and I'm not going to play anybody on a team where they just run, 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 run. Dawson Knox I have as a sit. Packers rank third in the league in defending tight ends. He already has target competition as it is with Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. They have Devin Singletary and James Cook out of the backfield. Um, I'm I don't think he's going to be heavily involved, if not involved at all, today, and he kind of hasn't been all year. And then the Bears defense is my sit. They just traded away Robert Quinn. I think that's going to be a huge locker room morale factor. They lost one of their leaders on defense. For kind of nothing because he was one of the best pass rushers last year, and this year he's really been underperforming. But I think them playing against the Cowboys, who have the potential to pop off on offense, as well as the hit to them losing Robert Quinn, I think that's going to be too much for them this week until they get more acclimated without having him. So I'm not going to play the Bears defense, even though they've been playing better as of late.
Good shit, dude. Love the fantasy report. I love hearing what you guys say with that. All right, guys, that's NFL Week 8 for you. Halftime in the London game. Jaguars lead 10-7 somehow, only by 3 points. This Broncos team is just so fucking bad. Man.
Hackett gone.
Down, peace, off the board.
Chubb gone. Judy gone.
Judy.
Hamler's been a guy that's been saying he's going to be gone.
Hey, dude. All right, fellas, that'll do it. If you need our props, they're here for you. Rewind
There you go.
button works, so watch it over again. I'm gonna post some free plays today. I've been struggling overall VIP wise. I'm gonna post some free plays at GoGetEmSports for some picks today, dropping in about next 10-15 minutes. So have fun, guys. Bet responsibly. We'll see you back next week for week 9. Peace out.
Yep.